Hello and welcome to IG classes. Dear aspirants, as you all know that JKPSC has released the syllabus for the post of lecturer 10 plus 2, and in this video I'm going to break down even the syllabus of English literature for the post of English lecturer 10th plus 2. First of all, let me show you the syllabus which is here. But I'm not going to read the syllabus from the very first line to last line because I'm pretty much sure that you students have read the syllabus very deeply, very clearly. But I'm going to discuss few more things which is beyond the syllabus. That how actually you have to tackle the syllabus. If you talk about a test series, which I'm going to prepare for you all on our app, how you have to, how can you get benefit from that test series, and how can we divide the syllabus into different sections. For example, we have 7 units, we all are mature, but that doesn't mean we'll prepare this according to the units, because if you see, once again let me break down the syllabus here. If you see, the syllabus starts from the history of English literature, but that's modern English now. For example, if a student is very much fresher, for example, a student has had passed a master's in English literature um, 3 to 4 years ago, but उस टाइम से लेकर अभी तक if he or she hasn't try to prepare for this exam, for example whether for the UGC NET या किसी किसी भी state exams के लिए state कि किसी भी सेट या कोई भी हो, अगर टीजीटी पीजीटी हुआ उसके लिए प्रिपेयर नहीं करा, then it is not going to be easy for you. Okay, so starting from the middle English is okay according to the syllabus now, but starting from the middle English is very confusing according to your preparation. So what you have to do is always try to start from the basics. Start with the Anglo-Saxon. Start with the reading of Beowulf. Don't read the Beowulf, it's not an easy poem to read, but at least must have the idea of Beowulf, who actually Beowulf was, what actually Beowulf has had to deal with that monster, so that to have a simple and clear-cut knowledge of the upcoming, other works. For example, if you see the works in the Victorian age, the works in the Romantic age, the works in the age of Elizabeth, there is a huge number in which the works which are not going to be easy for you if you start with directly with the Middle English. Yeah, always start at least for the few days. Try to start your preparation from the Old English, that's Anglo-Saxon and Anglo-Norman. Okay, after that we have Renaissance there. We have Restoration age is there. What actually was restored in that age? This is the question which I'm going to insert in your test series. And at that moment, when the age of restoration was given the name, the age of restoration, who actually was the king of the England? Okay. After that, there is another age. Neoclassical is there, but we haven't. After that, the age of Caroline is there, which is not given in the syllabus. But do you think we'll leave that? No, we'll not leave that. Why? Because that's a part of literature, no? If you are a literary student, if you have been connected with the literature for the past 2 to 3 years, it means it must be your habit, it must be in your nerves that the history with the timeline is important. Okay, after that we have Augustan, Romantic, Victorian, Modern, Postmodern, and all these things are clearly covered in the book, that's William J. Long, even though its language is very easy. Okay, na? It means it's not a boring. For example, if you study David Duchess, तो वो it will take a huge time. David Duchess एक मजाक नहीं है. It's really a very great book. बट अगर उसका आपका बेसिक्स नहीं है तो देन यू शुड स्टार्ट विद द विलियम जे लॉन्ग. आफ्टर वी हैव प्रमोद के नायर, we have Hudson is there. So after reading all, we'll directly move on to the next ages. But in next ages also we have to study about those those writers which we did in the history. For example, let me write here. For example, you read about history. In the history of English literature, you talked about Shakespeare. In any standard book, do you think that in that specific book only the dramas of Shakespeare would be given? No, not at all. Shakespeare, the poetry of also Shakespeare will be given at there. The poetry of Spenser and all those works of Spenser which are not in the poetry form will also be given. Clear? So that history is very important. Don't directly go that sir, yes sir, we have David Duchess and we'll read only about dramas of these playwrights. No, not only the dramas of these playwrights. Always try to cover the theme of that ages. Clear? Always try to cover what actually was there in that society. We have John Milton instead John Donne, Marvel. We have Alexander Pope. You need to have clear-cut knowledge on all the important works of, uh, you know, Alexander Pope. We have Dryden, but again I'm saying I'll put all these questions in the test series from all these important writers. First of all, the format of the test series directly would be the resources for the test series. Test series would be first of all ages. For example, if you pick the age of Elizabeth, which also is known as the age of Shakespeare, I'll directly pick on Shakespeare. I'll never leave any writer after the Shakespeare. I will directly move on. Your the works of Shakespeare. For example, let's pick up the Hamlet. I'll ask you each and every question of Hamlet. Okay, that's gonna be the strategy to prepare for this exam and to crack this exam. After that, Shakespeare, Spenser, in the that's called section of poetry. All of them are here. I'll start from the age of Shakespeare to the age of T.S. Eliot and Daddy. Clear? And the book for the same would be David Duchess. I'll not take that book to prepare the questions for you. I'll simply see the trend of UGC NET and JK set exams. Again, I'll not copy those questions, but I'll see that what actually was the targeting. For example, if they were mm, continuously targeting Canterbury Tale, and I'll see that which question they were targeting and what the characters were given there in those options of that questions, and from those options I'll prepare question for you all. Clear? So it means that if we memorize the whole English literatures, all the PYQ of English literature, that also not gonna help us. But PYQ doesn't mean we simply take a book and we simply take a list of questions what were directly asked and we see the answer of these questions. No, we have to see each and every option. That option may be asked in the next exam. After that, we have English drama is there, the very important genre. It is divided into different genres. For example, we have to study about tragic comedy, we have to study about comedy, we have to study about tragedy, historical plays as well. Shakespeare again is given here. If you refer simply and simply to the David Duchess, I think that's more than enough. Additionally, if you prepare Oxford Companion to English Literature, that's also going to be very much helpful for you all. But simply let me tell you, if they'll ask you from the drama, they'll not focus on the poets, those who have contributed the drama, but in a very less number. And for example, if you take any poet of that's called the age of romanticism, from if we compare the age of if we compare the poets of age of romanticism and the playwrights of the age of Elizabeth, you can simply differentiate the value of questions from these portions. That which portion, which age, which historical period is going to be asked at first. In the English novel, for the very first, try to understand the meaning of novel, try to understand the meaning of the genre. Okay. After that, try to understand the basics of novel. After that, enter the novel, enter the works of Daniel Defoe, okay, Richardson, Henry Fielding is there, Swift is there, and I think there's a very important work of Jonathan Swift. That's Gulliver Travel. Must have the knowledge of each and every character. Okay. After have we have Scott, Charles Bronte, Emily Bronte, Bronte sisters, I think, named for them as well. After that, we have Charles Dickens, Eliot, Hardy, Austin. All these are there, which I think were a part of master's syllabus. Specifically, if you refer to any central university, if you refer to JNU, if you refer to JMI, AMU, CU Punjab, I think the syllabus for these posts, for these ages have already discussed in those syllabus by our universities. After that, but it becomes a difficult for those who haven't who have um, qualified, who have passed masses from the IGNU or any other distance mode. Those students, if you haven't faced the university, that is somehow gonna difficult for you. I'm not saying that it is difficult, but it may be because when we verbally listen a teacher in universities, we get something that's very real, that's we in the performance form. Okay, for example, a drama is there, to be or not, a quote is there, to be or not to be, from the drama of Shakespeare. We simply see, for example, if the teacher will show something regarding to that, but in the distance mode now nobody show that. So I'll put all those scenes, all those important acts in the questions, in the explanation of all questions, so that you people can easily read them. After that, literary criticism and theory. That's again an important topic, because if you see the literature, we have already read 4 different units of literature. But when we talk about literary criticism, we have only one unit is there. But that's also not limited. We have the schools are there: classical, neoclassical, romantic, Victorian, new criticism, post-structuralist, feminist, and post-colonial. Additionally, if you have time, if you have covered the whole syllabus, additionally try to read new historicism, and all those which are pending as well. And again, Peter Barry is important for you all. Okay, and I think if your basics is not, then I think you should prepare M.H. Abraham at the very first, then go to other standard books. For example, Peter Barry is there. But now we have a very scoring portion: Indian and American literature. In Indian literature, I think you should focus on um, all the important writers of Indian English literature. For example, Muluk Raj Anand is there. So in the JKPSC context, I think they'll directly ask you questions from the works which are the works of Indian English literature in the very first. For example, we have the Guide, we have A Turn to Pakistan, we have other works, so that which are important for you, because it's a part of our syllabi, na? For example, if you read the syllabus of class 11th or 12th, it's a part of all these works which I have just talked about, all the parts of our syllabi. So I think you must have the knowledge of all those as well. Yeah, how can we leave American literature? In the American literature as well, Ernest Hemingway is there, Mark Twain is there, Nathaniel Hawthorne is there. I think I did a I did a dissertation in my masters on the Scarlet Letter. Okay, and I have at the time tried to evaluate that um, the age of Nathaniel Hawthorne was, and what actually was the main focus of Nathaniel Hawthorne on the society of America at that time. William Faulkner is there, Toni Morrison is there. I have written a very short name. You can simply read the whole name or the full name in the syllabus, which I have earlier attached um, in slide first. Book for this would be important. M.K. Naik is there, and for the American Northern Anthology is there. Rest you may refer any YouTube lectures. For example, if anybody has taught the same thing in detail, you can refer to those lectures as well. Still, if needed, if you want to learn from our channel, you have to comment in the comment section. Simply say, sir, just try to discuss few lectures. So if you want any type of discussion on these lectures, I'll simply conduct sessions. Okay, we can conduct session on app as well as if it's demanded, and on YouTube as well. After that, we have the age of, sorry, not age of, but we have a very important scoring portion, that's grammar and literary devices. Grammar, I will not recommend you any book because you are an MA English, and how can I say that you prepare this book for your grammar? But still, if you think that you need a standard book for the grammar, SV Bakshi would be a great choice. Objective General English. After that, literary terms. For the literary terms, I think M.H. Abraham is not, an ordinary book which cannot satisfy you. But M.H. Abraham is really a great literary work, great, book, standard book for all these, literary terms. Yeah. Additionally, if you can get the notes from anywhere, if you need note, do let me know on the Instagram, which I have already attached in the first slide, and I'll try to send you all those. I'll even though send you the PDFs of all these files if you need, of all these books if you need. But you at least you have to tell me now. Now we have this test series. What actually we are going to do in this test series, and what actually we are going to portray, we are going to pick the questions from which sources. Let me tell you 1 second. For example, there is a work Canterbury Tale. Do you know how many questions can be asked from Canterbury Tale? Can you have idea about the characters of Canterbury Tale? Can you have the idea about the character of Knight? Can you have the idea about the work of Shakespeare? Can you have any idea about the play Tempest as you like it? All these, and how can we categorize them in different historical and problem plays? I'll pick question from all those works in your test series. Clear? Simply go to Play Store. 1 second, let me write here. Simply go to Play Store. 1 second. Simply go to Play Store, download IG Classes app from there, and when you will open the app, directly go to the test series and join our test series. I'll prepare your test series from the very basics, in which I'll try to put 5 full mock tests. Additionally, section tests would be there. In sectional test, things would be chronology, in the form of chronology. For example, in the first section test, we'll pick the age of that's called medieval, and the age of Elizabethan. After that, we'll pick the age of Restoration, age of Augustan, age of Romantic, age of Victorian, all these. Okay. After that, topic-wise test will also be organized. For example, we all know that um, Shakespeare is important. I'll arrange a detailed, list of questions on Shakespeare and Chaucer. Again, same thing would be there for the Wordsworth, for the John Milton, for all important literary figures, which we all know that will be asked in our interview as well as in our, that's called the entrance exam. So this was all about today's lecture. If you need any type of or any kind of assistance, do let me know on our Instagram channel, that's English with Zafar. Okay. Additionally, if you have any type of issue regarding the syllabus, or if you want the test series of any other subjects, do let me know in the comment section. I'll talk to the management regarding the same, and we'll arrange the same thing for you all. Clear? So we'll leave no stone unturned, but you also have to cooperate with us in the form of, for example, if we give you any type of mock test, you have to attempt it, evaluate yourself, and let us know that what was your performance, and what the problems you faced while appearing in that mock test. For example, the problems would simply be you didn't had idea about the important works of Shakespeare. I'll put the same thing in the next test series of the next mock. For example, if you have problem in the Tempest, if you have a problem in the As You Like It, if you have the problem in the Hamlet, I'll simply try to design some few important things in the explanation section of that specific question. Clear? So I'll do everything. Additionally, I'm saying I'll pick the question from the very first age to very recent. Okay, from the very medieval, even though I'll try to get the questions from old English. Okay, from the old English to from the old English to post-modern, I'll pick each and everything. Clear? So it's all about today's lecture. If you really liked the lecture, do subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to get notified for the same in the coming time. So if you need lectures, do let us know in the comment section, and you may simply say that's our topic to be discussed. You may give us topic, as well as simply you can say, so if the number of demand comes, we'll start classes on YouTube as well as on app. Clear? Thank you so much for this.